Hello, everyone. My name is Jenny and I'm an astrologer and an energy healer. I work with the energy of Archangel Metatron and bringing forward these messages. And I want to thank everybody who's new and welcome everyone who's new to the channel. And thank you to everyone who likes and subscribes and shares my videos. Thank you. And so let's see, so much to talk about. I want to kind of steer away from what's going on out there today and really focus on ourselves what the astrology is saying about us individually. This is the first new moon after the eclipses, the three eclipses that we just had. And so it's a fresh energy, a new start. This new moon is happening it's 28 degrees and change of Cancer. So we go with the 29th degree then. That is the anaerobic degree, what's called the anaerobic degree of Cancer. And anaerobic is the last degree of a sign before it moves, the planet or the point moves into the next phase or the next sign. And the anaerobic degrees are like the confluence of all of the energy of that sign bundled into that last degree. And of course, Cancer, it relates to the heart, our emotional health, our feelings of belonging, being centered, being safe, being at home within ourselves, feeling that we're at home, that we're in the nest, that we're safe and warm there. And really focusing inward when this is the last degree before Leo, before we come into the expression of our gifts and being on stage and allowing ourselves to shine and be seen. And so really it's about emotional wholeness, emotional wellness. And when we're talking about the last degree of Cancer, because until the inner child within us recognizes that he or she is safe and has the ability to do anything, we can't move into that Leo energy then. And Leo also, is just enjoying life and celebrating life and allowing the fire within us to shine. And so I want to speak to this in relation to Mars and how he plays a role in this new moon as well. So the new moon is happening in Sydney. It will be on the 21st at 3:32 a.m. And the rest of us, it's July 20th, 6:32 p.m. for London, 12:32 p.m. for Chicago, and then 2:32 p.m. for Brasilia. I hadn't recognized how many people in Brazil watched me until I was searching for something else on YouTube, and I realized oh wow, there's a lot of people in Brazil. So hi to everyone in Brazil. Thank you for being here. Metatron is calling this video Invitation to Mastery because Mars rules the self. And as he begins he's been in Aries for a short time, but he still has quite a few months left there until January 6th of 2021. And Mars, the self, relates to Cancer in the way that Mars is about that inner child, the expression of us. It's the energy that causes the seed to burst open, or the same energy that we come through the gates, Metatron is saying, of the pelvis. We burst into and we're here we are, world. And, Mars is about enterprise and pioneering spirit. Mars is courageous. He also is about doing battle. Battling through whatever obstacles or mountains there may be that seem insurmountable. And that's why Mars excels in Capricorn, because it's just one step at a time and he's able to come up that mountain and be in his mastery, in the position of mastery. That's when Mars becomes the emperor, when he has climbed that mountain. And so when we look at the energy of the chart, Mars is, because Metatron was talking about tying together the story of Mars with the new moon, and I was like, how am I going to do that? And then I realized that Mars is making an aspect to the new moon from Aries of 105 degrees, which is called a squine. So I talked about squares being like that energy of that 90-degree angle of tension that's very powerful, but there's something that we push to break through. And the trine is the easy flow, the triangle, the easy flow of energy. Like when one planet is in one sign and then the other planets are in the same element, that's a trine where the energy flows easily, unfettered between the planets. But a squine is both. And so I believe that he is letting us know that at times it may feel as if we need to really push through. And, we could feel like restriction or block. And then at other times we'll just be in a very easy flow of energy. But, the expression of self is the fire energy, the Mars energy, and how he gains momentum as he's climbing. He actually gets faster, he gets better at it, he becomes well versed with in that terrain, and he's able to overcome obstacles and challenges. One of the tricky things about Mars is that when we haven't healed the inner child, and this goes with Cancer, we can take things personally, and we can see the way that others are like what we see in their reflection to us is somehow like insulting or something that we take personally. And really, during this time, I would just encourage you to remind yourself that however people come at you, it's something to do with them. You may be reflecting something to them, but really it's everyone, as we get into our own mastery, really recognizing that the other is always reflecting ourselves to us is key. Otherwise, it's just so many grudges build up. And, when we're taking something personally, we feel hurt. And that Cancer energy that, we kind of close off our heart because we were wounded by the words or the actions of others. And so now it's about recognizing that really has nothing to do with us, that's their story. I've noticed driving around that people are especially impatient right now and real frustrated. He's talking about like quick to anger. And so when we're looking at the last degree of Cancer, we really want to focus on what's going on internally, what is going on inside of ourselves, and allowing little baby us to still experience childlike wonder and happiness, and sort of just wearing the cloak of the world very loosely, just watching these things unfold. I've said, in 2018, when I made the End of Corruption video, all the things that are transpiring now, we talked about in that video. And so, when I post those things, I don't really feel attached to them. It's more like, hello, look at what's happening. But, I don't like when I see a bunch of anger responses, that I take it down if I notice that, because I don't want to trigger anybody or make anybody angry. It's just more of having an awareness, but not an attachment to what's happening in the illusion, because this is the illusion after all. The truth is that we're all one. We're all connected together. We chose to incarnate now and experience these things. And for such a time as this is what Metatron is saying. Mars is brave and courageous. A lot of firefighters and first responders have a very strong Mars because they're the first ones that rush in to do the rescue. So you get like that. I'm hearing that song, I Need a Hero. And Mars is your inner hero. And Mars is ambitious and he makes gains. And even when, things come about where we may feel that square energy, that tension, and we're being blocked in some way, then it's really just that we're learning to be patient and to trust the Creator's timing with everything that is happening now. So let's take a look at the chart. Okay. So we see the sun and the moon there together at the last degree of Cancer, and they are in an opposition to the conglomerate happening at the end of Capricorn. We've got Pallas Athena, Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn, Gabriel, and Chariklo, and they're all retrograde there. So that's definitely where we can feel as if we're blocked in some way. But, this is sort of like we're being forced to turn inward at this time. And, when this video comes out, because I'm making it on the 15th, when it comes out tomorrow, you will probably be feeling, if not tomorrow, the next day, the dark of the moon. And if, with all of this energy, with these guys facing the sun and moon at the anaerobic degree of Cancer, even though it's a new moon, I feel like there's going to be a lot of emotion involved. Metatron is saying, showing me in the collective that there may be a lot of feelings of anger and frustration, especially relating to those in leadership positions. I want to mention too that with Jupiter here, when Jupiter and Pluto are together, and I've talked about this before, then conspiracy theories are going to take hold. People can be swept away with fear and lies that appear as the truth and are very convincing, as we see on YouTube. And when Jupiter is in Capricorn and retrograde, then you can just expect that there'll be a lot of secrets coming up, most likely relating to leadership and also to guru, like leaders who are gurus, that kind of thing, like secrets of sex abuse, abusive power scenarios going on, things with money that are hidden. I said I was going to stay away from the collective story, but I got that in. But Chariklo too Chariklo is the wife of Chiron. And Chiron is the inner child, the healing that we do, like the misnomer, the wound that never heals. That's sort of like his tag, or the wounded healer. He had a wound, Chiron, that would not heal. And so he was forced to live and suffer all the time until he was finally granted death, just so that he could be free of the wound. But Chiron is where we do the healing internally, so that Chariklo, we can spin our lives. The graceful weaver or the graceful spinner is what Chariklo means. And so it's about healing the wound and creating our own path forward. These things of the past and what is being held on to as stability for each of us, expect those things to fall away, things that we've counted on and believed were stable. Could be relationships, it could be career, could be a way of life that falls away, and then we're meant to create something new. So when we look at these energies, we can see that, chaos is still, the asteroid chaos is still at the last degrees of Gemini with the North Node. So obviously we are experiencing a period of chaos. I mean, even if you're in a country where the government has bothered to put in a plan, to keep you safe, nobody really knows what's going on. And we're going to talk about that when I do the Nostradamus video, but they've asked me to wait. Now he's showing me a few weeks. So we'll wait on that, but we'll address more, what's coming up for us, like as far as the virus and things like that. Also in this chart, Mars in Aries, if you look down there and into the third house, you see Mars has already passed by Chiron. and he's in what's called a sextile with Venus. So it is something to do with the choice of partnership. But also he spoke about soul family members coming in to help, offers of help coming in, asking for a relationship, a friendship, that would be like sustainable. So he's saying something sustainable, someone who is trustworthy, and just, imagining those people appearing in your life, people that can help you with what is next or help you to heal the wound of the heart. And also, when Mercury is in Cancer, then that's a lot of psychic and intuitive gifts or like information coming in. So I would say, because Mercury is making an aspect with Uranus that is about a choice, it could again have something to do with relationships, but really it could be some insight into the ancestors or hearing from the ancestors about the path forward. Typically, we have ancestors close to us who are ready to help us with this part of our journey, who've had an experience that's similar and can lend their advice and support to us. At the midpoint, between the sun and moon and the, all of these Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn going on in Capricorn, at the midpoint between them and right in the fourth house, like right at the beginning of the fourth house, is Eris. And Eris, of course, the goddess of discord, the disruptor, the one who would do whatever it takes to bring change, to bring revolution, to bring revelations. Because that Eris is in the fourth house with Uranus, and also Archangel Michael is right there too with Uranus. In the mundane chart, the fourth house relates to climate. So there could be something unstable. Again, fourth chart, water. I expect that with Mars and Aries, we've had really, I think the heat waves have been going on since Mars entered Aries for the United States. I know. We were like 105. We were over 100 for, I think, 6 days in a row in Chicago. It was really miserable. And I would hope to be outside today for you guys, but it got really humid and started raining. But still Pandora's box is with the vertex. The vertex is always something karmic, and that's in the 8th house, the Scorpio house, secrets. And it's in Leo, so something relating to leadership. This is the chart for universal time, so this is just in general for all of us. And, when we're watching these things go on, like abuse of power in government, and, for us in the United States, it's strange because the people who are supposed to be watching this stuff and worrying about it are like happy about it. So it's like, but, we knew this was coming. I know I've heard from others of you in different countries where the government is starting to already overreach with tracing people, keeping tabs on people. As we said, that would be one of the results of the virus. But, remember that Pluto and Saturn met together at the fixed star Peacock, which is about allowing ourselves to shine and being like, hello, world. And, maybe leaving the corporate job or the safe job and doing what makes your heart beat, what you're passionate about, what brings you joy. And for everyone, especially the men who have been like just tied down to responsibilities and having to support everyone around you, maybe taking the time now to discover, Metatron is saying what it is that brings you a sense of fulfillment and happiness, not because it has anything to do with anyone else, just for yourself. That's important too. That's really what we're here for, is to experience joy, to have joy, and to recognize that life is joyful. And so, we're really like focusing inward and doing that healing for little us, the little one that wasn't taken care of, wasn't cared for. And he's talking about releasing stories linked with the past that cause us to question our value, to question what it is that we're worthy and deserving of. So I wanted to read the Sabian symbol for the 29th degree of Cancer is a muse weighing twins. Inwardly assessing. Cancer 29 suggests a capacity for expanded awareness within. One could say there is a capacity to ponder deeper implications, to weigh matters beyond outward appearances. The opposing Capricorn symbol, a woman reading tea leaves, points to an ability to read a situation. He put read in quotes. To read a situation like the patterns found in the tea leaves in order to glean extra information. All 29th degree symbols carry a motif of heightened inner awareness. It is possible in Cancer 29 that the weight becomes ponderous, too heavy. There is no need, inwardness is naturally evoked, such that a space inward and vast opens. One may feel like searching in the dark, but the results are surely refined sensibilities. You know, the moon and Cancer, of course, is linked with, and all water signs are linked with psychic intuitive abilities and really like being able to sense what's around us. And for Cancers, it can be a lot of times, depending on where the moon is in their chart, a fear of allowing the heart to fully open. And really, if you have a moon, this is for everybody. Everybody has a moon. So it can show, like in our moon and how it's being aspected, why we're closed off. Like what hurt us so much that we just thought like, okay, I'm just going to close up and just not feel anything. And so this is really about, he's saying, allowing the heart to blossom and to open, to trust that you're being cared for and nurtured, that there is a creator that cares for you, that you don't need to do anything or prove anything to anyone in order to feel loved and accepted, or to, and the only way that we come to that is to completely love and accept ourselves and to feel comfortable in our own skin. And then, the root chakra can completely open and we can manifest. We can manifest our gifts, Leo, and allow ourselves to receive, receiving, he's talking about compliments and telling ourselves a new story of worthiness, and that we're worthy and deserving of achieving our dreams. And he's bringing up, I was watching The Last Dance. I don't know if you guys caught that I was watching it on YouTube TV. I think it's on ESPN. But it's about the Chicago Bulls. And I lived in the city when the Chicago Bulls, when Prince Michael was here, and, got to watch him play a couple of times in person and went to the rallies, which I never go to big crowded events anymore because of that. But it was a great time. I mean, it was awesome to watch him. He's just amazing. So I was watching the series, and one night I was mortified to see myself. You can tell when you're actually talking to the other person because there'll be some sort of barrier. So Michael was sitting under an archway. I could tell that he was in front of like his house kind of thing. And there was a gate, and then there was also a small hedge. You could tell that Michael probably, I can't imagine like energetically what he must have felt coming from everybody all the time, but now he wants his me time, is what he's saying. And he was talking to me about the achievement of excellence, and that was what his driving force was, achievement of excellence. And all of us have that somewhere with our Mars. His just showed that he was an amazing sports player and that he would be a superstar. But all of us have that capacity, have that ability. We've done it before. And so really like allowing yourself to go within and listening to the desires of your heart. And he's talking about seeing if the shoe fits. Like, if there is something that you think you'd like to do and you start putting your energy that way, and then you're like, this is where we're going to need to be adaptable as Mars is going through this process in Aries. There's probably going to be people that change their minds. I've been in situations where I had agreements I knew with members of the soul family to work together in this way or that way, and then the person pulled out. They said, like, okay, no, I don't want to do that right now. And, not taking that personally, just trusting that the creator will bring you a partner who is willing to go there with you and to support you and to help you to achieve excellence, and really being open to all of the help that's available. A lot of us have, and I was working with people today in relation to not being able to accept help, where it's like, I could do it myself. I could do it myself. That's that lower areas where he's talking about the fear that if we accept help, then we need to do, like, we're obligated to do what is suggested to us. He's saying, like, the angels, the ancestors, the divine beings, the ascended masters, always, he's saying, we simply make suggestions. No one is ever being told what to do, and no choice is right or wrong for you either. It's simply to follow the desire of your heart. And he's saying that, when you're aligned within yourself and in tune with what it is that your soul is saying to you, then doors begin to open, light dawns in the darkness, and you're able to easily heed the call of your soul and following the desires of your heart. And he's talking about that some have a limited capacity of trust, that their own inner voice, he's saying, was shut down by adults or those in authority. And so it can make it more of a challenge to hear the inner voice. So really, like, assuring yourself that what you're hearing is from the divine, that is a divine birthright. Everyone has that. No one really has more psychic ability or less than other people. I mean, some of us, it's not my first time at the rodeo, so yeah. But all of us have that ability. I mean, I've taught a lot of people how to do that themselves. It's possible. And you all have an inner voice. Everybody does. And so everybody can figure out what it is that they would most like to see happen. And he's talking about taking time to have a ritual, have a ceremony at the time of the new moon, even if it's a 5-minute conversation that you have with yourself or with the angels, lighting a candle and sending out inspired arrows of inspiration, arrows of inspired intention. He's talking about for your future, your journey that you're taking in this lifetime. Okay, everybody, I hope that you found this helpful, and I hope all of you are doing well. Let me know in the comments how things are going with you. I know that someone was asking last time. Oh, and Isis, I wanted to address what you were asking about physical symptoms of what's going on right now. A lot of digestive or like bowel related things could be happening, even like constipation. That could be something that's going on. Probably it could be that as people are upgrading their vibration and we're going through these upgrades, that you may find that it serves you to release a certain food. People may be feeling a lot of sensitivity to dairies, and you showing me the sugar, reminding me too that this is a very challenging time for addictions, and he's talking about addictions popping up, like old things, habits that have gone away that we may feel drawn to again for comfort, because cancer is where we want to comfort ourselves. And so people may be turning to that. And he's saying, be gentle with yourself. Have grace for yourself. He's saying, certainly I do have grace and for you. And so, yeah, recognizing that you're worthy and deserving of grace and forgiveness, and just loving and accepting yourself wherever you are. That's really what is most important, is just to love and accept ourselves. Yeah. And is there anything else that you would like me to add before he's saying that all of us within us have the capacity, or that we are a master. He's saying you may be hiding it from yourself, but trust me, he's saying, You are a master. You are indeed a master, is what he's saying. And this invitation is open ended, he's saying. So if you hear the message and then you are inclined to begin at a later date, he's saying your timing is always right on time. It will happen when it's meant to happen and in the way that it's meant to manifest. But to allow yourself to recognize that you are the master within, that you are the emperor, that when we are when we have self-discipline, and really doing that with rituals is helpful instead of calling it like an exercise regimen. Having a ritual is a better way, because our subconscious doesn't like that word regimen or discipline by the way. But if you say it like a ritual, like I do these rituals, I have a friend who is a Capricorn, and she says that it makes her feel safe, that she feels safer when she stays in her daily routine. So, once we have like power over the appetite and what we're putting in, that then the master is, what are you saying? The master appears. The master within appears, but that all of you are masters. And he's saying, I see it within you, even if you don't see it within yourself. So I'm not sure who he's saying that to. He's saying that to a lot of people. Okay. All right, everybody. So I hope this was helpful. And we will get to the twin flame. I hope that the twin flame video is coming up soon. I'm not going to do the solar return for Trump. I'm just not going to do it. I put up a Chiron post, some of you may have seen on the community tab, and I offended someone on Facebook. I was like, are you kidding me? So yeah, just for my own sanity, I thought I'll do that later. Maybe when things aren't going on, I don't have quite so much happening at home. But anyway, everybody, sending you guys so much love, and I will speak to you in about a week. Bye-bye.